Right now, somewhere in your kitchen, there is a bag of chips you keep thinking about. You already ate dinner. You are not hungry. But your brain keeps circling back to that bag like it owes you something. You tell yourself it is a lack of willpower. But the real answer is far stranger. That craving is not a flaw in you. It is a message from people who died 50,000 years ago, and your body never stopped listening. To understand why, you have to go back. Not to a farm, not to a supermarket. Back to a world with no fridges, no fields, and no guarantees. For most of human history, food was not a choice you made 3 times a day. It was a problem you solved every single day, with your body, using whatever the land happened to give you that morning. Anthropologist Katharine Milton spent years studying what our closest primate relatives eat in the wild, and then compared it to what early humans likely ate as their brains grew larger and hungrier. Her research pointed to something surprising. The human diet was not fixed. It was flexible almost to the point of chaos. Roots one season, insects another, fish when the river was generous, meat when the hunt actually worked, which was less often than you would think. This is the part people get wrong. They imagine a caveman gnawing on a mammoth leg every night like it was a steady menu. It was not. Hunts failed constantly. A missed hunt could mean days without meat. So the body that survived was not the body built for one perfect diet. It was the body built to handle uncertainty, which means your body was not designed to eat clean. It was designed to eat opportunistically. That difference changes everything. When food was scarce and unpredictable, the humans who survived were the ones whose brains lit up hardest for the rarest, richest calories: fat, sugar, salt. Not because those foods were bad, because those foods were gold. A ripe fruit meant quick energy. Animal fat meant density you could store. Salt kept your cells working when you were sweating across a savanna with no water in sight. Your brain still runs that same reward system today. It has not been updated. There was no software patch when supermarkets appeared. The craving circuitry that once helped a hungry human find enough calories to survive winter is the exact same circuitry lighting up when you stare into a snack aisle under fluorescent lights. Here is where it gets stranger. Primatologist and biological anthropologist Richard Wrangham proposed something that reshaped how scientists think about the human diet entirely. He argued that the true turning point was not meat. It was fire. Cooking food did something raw food could never do. It broke down tough fibers and proteins before they even reached your stomach, which meant your body spent far less energy digesting and had far more energy left over for something else. For what? For your brain. Wrangham's cooking hypothesis suggests that the moment early humans started cooking regularly, they unlocked a caloric surplus large enough to grow the most energy-hungry organ in the animal kingdom. Your brain, right now, burns roughly 20% of your daily energy just sitting inside your skull thinking. A raw, uncooked diet could never have funded that kind of growth. Cooking did. Which means the thing frying in a pan on your stove tonight is not a modern convenience. It is one of the oldest technologies your species ever invented, and it may be the very reason you are capable of wondering about any of this at all. But cooking alone does not explain the craving. For that, you need to look at what happens when food actually becomes reliable. For nearly all of human history, calories were the bottleneck. Every waking hour bent toward finding enough. Anthropologist Herman Pontzer studied the Hadza, a community in Tanzania who still forage and hunt for a large share of their food today, and found something that upended a common assumption. Even with all that walking, all that physical effort, their total daily energy burn was strikingly similar to that of people living sedentary lives in modern cities. Read that again. The extreme physical activity did not blow past modern energy levels the way you might expect. Bodies adapt. They compensate. What actually changed between then and now was not how much energy humans burn. It was how much food shows up without being earned. For a Hadza forager, a fatty, calorie-dense food is rare and worth craving intensely, because the next one might be days away. For you, that same craving fires just as intensely, except now the fatty, calorie-dense food is 20 feet from your couch, wrapped in foil, restocked automatically every week. Your craving system was calibrated for scarcity. You are living inside abundance. Nobody warned it. So when you stand in front of that bag of chips at 9 at night, you are not failing some modern test of discipline. You are a perfectly tuned survival machine, operating exactly as designed, in an environment its designers never could have imagined. This is not permission to eat without limits. It is something closer to permission to stop blaming yourself the way you have been. Think about what your ancestors actually had to eat, season by season, region by region. Coastal groups ate enormous amounts of fish and shellfish, packed with fats your brain still depends on. Groups near grasslands ate roots, tubers, and whatever meat the hunt provided. Nobody was eating a single, clean, consistent diet handed down from evolution like a recipe card. There was no one true ancestral meal. There was only adaptation, over and over, to whatever a specific place could offer. Which means the entire idea of eating exactly like a caveman misses the point. There was no single caveman diet to return to. There was only a caveman strategy. Eat what is available. Prioritize density when you find it. Never waste an opportunity, because you do not know when the next one is coming. Your body still runs that strategy today, in a world where the next opportunity is always exactly 1 arm's length away. That is why willpower alone so often loses. You are not fighting a bad habit. You are fighting millions of years of calibration built by ancestors who never once had to resist a vending machine. Understanding this will not silence the craving. But it changes what the craving means. It is not evidence that something is wrong with you. It is evidence that something inside you still works exactly the way it was built to. Somewhere in your kitchen there is still that bag of chips. But now, when you look at it, you are not just seeing a snack. You are seeing a message forwarded across 50,000 years from someone who needed that fat and salt to survive a winter you will never have to face. You do not have to answer it the same way they did. But at least now, you know exactly who is talking.